Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to our conversation. We're going to be taking a moment to talk and conversate around the ignorance of an influencer globally and understand that the certain leaders across the globe have been working to distort reality globally. And then I wanted to remind everybody that in the beginning of all this, I made secret collaborative moves with certain countries to let them know that we were going to save the world together. We won't name names. However, if you were to go back and look, you'd probably figure out who those people are. Anywho, with that being said, we're going to talk specifically about Ken Craddock, a spoiled, rotten little bitch who grew up in the middle class family of some crazy ass parents who spoiled this little bitch rotten, who abused kids at school and made her right the whole time while they created some facade fake friendly as the way that Americans behave. I'm going to tell you right now, any American born in this country who makes content that looks like a cheerleader, that talks like a cheerleader, that dates a football player, that is not American. That's not American. They're going to try and tell you that it is American, but I'm going to tell you right now, America was not built off that shit. They don't have a clue around foreign policy, human, natural law. They don't have a clue around America's laws. America's laws. We have our own laws here. China has their laws, and so does Russia, and so do other countries. And Xu Chu has violated law and order across the entire globe. However, what we're also dealing with is people like Macron, Trudeau, Maloney, Magroni, a Magroni. She's definitely drinks too much, by the way, folks of Italy. Italian. They have their own laws. And leaders like those three are anti-human and pro-AI. And I don't know if you know that that's abusive to humans, but it benefits them because they can get to is a loose word, but that's how they think. So it's like in the last video I talked about your life should be boring, uneventful, with an occasional event. However, the way that Singapore, Xu Chu, has made lives of low-class citizens across the globe who have provocative energy, he makes every day an event of psychosis to ruin everyone's life while he says he's just following the Constitution. So back to what I was telling you is they wanted to bring AI in to manipulate you into what you're watching Ken Craddock do. That's not a mother or a parent. And if you support that, you were just like it. But then she escalated it to expose you for who you've been for the world. Think about that for a second. They're showing you who they've been for their children, and everybody knows that your children, your children always have beef with you as a parent because you blame them for everything that goes wrong in your life because they were kids. Most people when they're in their 20s, they have kids, and they tend to be a little bit selfish, and so you're learning shit when you're first born. When you're 2, when you're 3, you may not remember it, but those are the things that develop you into who you become. And then you blame your parents when you're older, and they're videotaping all the things that they're doing. And then they want to go on yachts and jets and then brag about it to you as the audience. That's what Maloney and Macron and Trudeau want for themselves and for their followers, so that they can subdue all of you as citizens. So they think money's going to buy happiness for all these people. And then don't forget about the perfect team, which is not perfect, by the way. They're sickness. And then you want to remember that we're searching for the next move of what these people want. They want to control what sells, what's cool, so that it makes their life easy. But when you're this bad of leadership like Trudeau, you create problems in a country that used to have major problems, but that's because people were recognizing at some point in life that their moms and dads were doing bad things, which would be lawfully normal, but emotionally a little off, because they were dealing with their own shit. And then in the old days, you would look at that and you'd say, well, at least they were trying. But I learned a lot from this person, from this experience, from that experience. However, that's not what's going on in today's world. They lie their asses off. They teach this is like something weird that is hard for me to explain. That how many times are we going to watch Bella Dolan take story on another freaking trip? How unstable is her daily life? She has no routine. She's always traveling. She's going to some of the scariest countries in the world. She's not being protected. She has to protect herself, and they're making videos about it, telling how they're jet lagged as if it's cool, but you can't register in your brain that that's not normal. Then they brag about how they have fancy clothes, and they're at a fancy event. And they're like, wow, look at how much money we have. We're really cool. We're so nice. You're not nice. There's nothing to you in substance. They don't understand. It's like talking to an infant. That's talking Bella Dolan. They don't understand what they're doing is evil. No. They don't understand that it's evil. Understand that they're living in some weird delusional place. And what I just said, they don't understand what they're doing is evil. And then they also understand what they're doing is evil. And then attached to all those things is they're the victims. Then they brag how many followers they have and are trying to get in like Flint at gala events is what their goal is. Those doors are closed for them until Ken Craddock decides that she wants to host a gala event. And then they start hosting dumbass shit where they take money and host like Pencils for Promise, where they then get on Getty Images. She's like, oh, what a great idea. Nobody showed up. So they're talking out their ass of illogical. It's illogical to watch these people. Doesn't make no sense to watch them on a podcast. They're weird as shit. They're not interesting. They're weird as shit. We don't want AI. We don't want robotic influencers. We don't want ChatGPT. We want a brain. We want to have a real life. We don't want what you're trying to put upon us. So that's called force. They're forcing you. And that means you have to fight against it because they don't care about humanity. They care about themselves. And that's said loosely because they don't actually care about themselves. Because they don't really know what that means. They think that means going to buy themselves a massage or a facial or whatever dumb shit that's tangible in a purse.